Please make sure that when you are seeking counsel, advice about how to obtain a thing or come into a thing, that you are being mindful of the people you are seeking it from. Let's talk about it. Say you want to be a millionaire or you want to be married. We'll use those two examples. If you want to be a millionaire, you may think, okay, I have to, one, speak to a millionaire. I have to speak to someone who's good at risk management, who's good at economics, who has assets, who has a portfolio that very clearly shows that they are good at building wealth, right? Same thing with marriage. You want to probably speak to someone who's married, and you want to speak to someone who presents to have a good marriage and all the things. But if you zoom in too closely at what they have that you are trying to obtain, you can easily miss all the surrounding things and sacrifices that fall away from the story that they present, that you don't realize you have to come into agreement with to obtain that very thing. A lot of times we seek counsel or advice from people who present to have the thing we want, but we fail to really consider the type of people they are, the type of character they possess, and the type of sacrifices and things they had to make to get to that route. For one, some people's portions were not their portions to have. They are thieves. There are certain things that God did not bless certain people to come into. And so it is very, very important that when you are taking counsel or taking advice from people, that you are consulting God and asking him, like, is this person speaking from a path in which they chose for themselves or a path in which you chose for them? Because people who present with like misery and like arrogance and pride, a lot of times that was either never their portion to have or they lost it along the way. And it's time for them to go back to the drawing board. For one, why would you want to take advice from a miserable millionaire or someone who's in a miserable marriage? Like, misery loves company, right? So people will try to entice you to come into what they have to join them. But like, when it is blessed and ordained by God for you to have portions of wealth or marriage or anything, it will not come with sorrow. You may have challenging times and periods, and every day may not be bliss, but it will not come with sorrow. It will come with abundance. It will come with joy. It will come with peace being your portion. So when you see people who lack peace, but seem to be surrounded by material abundance, they probably went out of the will of God. And when you go out of the will of God, guess what? I'm sure you've heard the saying, you got to stay out of the will of God to maintain it. And we don't want that, do we? So be mindful who you seek counsel from, and always just ask God, is this my portion to have? He should be your first counsel anyway, because in him, nothing will fail, and he will literally sustain you more than any man or anything can, whether it's wealth, marriage, friendship, family, the whole nine. So, cheers.